Today we'll be playing on the other side of the ball, and we'll be learning how to stop an NTLM relay attack. What? Do you think this channel is for hackers? Well, it's not. It's obviously to help protect computers worldwide by sharing knowledge. Now get your head out of the gutter, get your mind ready to defend against an attack. It's Novice here, and in this video we'll learn how to prevent NTLM relay attacks. Now, with NTLM relay attacks, there are multiple different avenues in which this attack can be conducted. Now, with that being said, today we're going to try to go through some of the top defensive strategies to avoid this type of attack. Now, let's hop right into it. Alright, and now we're in our test environment. So, the first thing that we'll have to do to actually protect against NTLM relay attacks is actually to have NTLM auditing enabled. So essentially that just means that NTLM and NTLM, well, anytime that NTLM is being used, it'll be monitored and tracked and then stored into the event viewer. So how do we go about doing so? I'm glad you asked. So with this one, we'll actually go into the GPO and then get this started. So most of the improvements that we'll be making here, especially relating to the NTLM defensive scheme, will be done in this specific section of the GPO. So you'll go to computer configuration, policies, Windows settings, followed by security settings, local policies, and then security options. Now once you get there, if you want to enable NTLM auditing, you have to scroll down a little to try to find, I believe it starts with network security. Let me try to find this. Okay, I think this is actually it. So it looks like beforehand I actually already enabled this. So what you're looking for is restrict NTLM, audit incoming NTLM. I'm guessing that last word is traffic. Once you do that, you'll actually be able to receive or know when NTLM traffic has been sent in your environment, which is obviously what we want. Then secondly, we want to also go to this network security, restrict NTLM, audit NTLM authentication in this domain, meaning that this will be authenticated, or all NTLM authentication will be tracked within the domain. So that is the first part, enabling NTLM auditing. Now once you do that, you can go into things that prevent NTLM itself. So what we just did would actually help you to monitor NTLM and when something bad could possibly be happening there. Now with the next steps, we'll actually be trying to shut down NTLM or NTLM relay attacks at its root. Now the reason that most of these are impactful or important are simply because NTLM relay attacks really have their potency because the server and the client do not make sure of who they are sending their hashes or responses to. Now with that being the case, you can throw an attacker in the middle of it and the client will still think that they're sending it to a server. The server will still think they're sending the information to a client. So to be able to prevent this, a lot of our security mechanisms will actually be using signing or some sort of channel binding. Now this essentially just makes it so that it has integrity to know, oh, this actually came from the specific server that I'm targeting or the specific client that I'm actually trying to get this back to. Now with that being said, our actual first way to prevent not just SMB, but any type of NTLM relay attack is to disable NTLM version 1. So if I'm not wrong, there's NTLM version 1, 2, there might even be a 3 now, I might be tripping though, but at least 2 of them. If this is the case, you should completely disable NTLM version 1 as it is the weaker version. So if I'm not wrong, I think this should still be the same place, but let's see. Yep, it looks like it is right here. So if you try to define this policy, what we would want to do is to set this to NTLM version 2 and then refuse LM and NTLM. This will completely block out NTLM version 1 as well as the use of LM. So we'll go ahead and apply that. Yes, and okay. Now from here, what we then can do is actually focus in on some of the more critical ways that NTLM relaying can be used, which are SMB signing as well as, well, not SMB signing, SMB relay attacks as well as LDAP relay attacks. Now these two have the potential to cause the most problems in these types of relay attacks, as they are kind of directly related to the Windows environment or the AD environment that is being hosted by Windows. So first, or the next way that we can prevent an NTLM relay attack is to require SMB signing. So kind of for the reasons I stated before, if the responses are signed, then they'll know, or each device will know who is actually sending it. And once they have that knowledge, if it's sent to somebody else or a message is sent to them by somebody else, they'll be able to recognize, oh, this is not the same thing that I sent out or that I was supposed to receive. Therefore, they won't actually respond or communicate with a third party, in our case being an attacker or a hacker. So let's go through and find this. Like I said, the bulk of our stuff should be found here. So let's see if I can find it. Okay, digitally encrypt or sign secure channel data. So if we enable this, enable to digitally encrypt secure channel data when possible. Let's go ahead and enable that. And finally, to digitally sign secure channel data when possible, and enable that. Now this essentially turns on SMB signing. Therefore, we should be good from any SMB relay attacks. Now we gotta move forward to stopping the next biggest one, or I won't even put them in order. Another big one, which is the LDAP relay attacks. So to do so, we will actually come through here. Let me see if I can find it. It's actually right above. So LDAP server signing requirements. And here we're actually just going to require signing. Apply that. Yep, we're fine with it changing. Press OK. And yes, so we're essentially going to enable this as well. Apply is okay. Let me see if there's anything else we need. Yes, we'll also need to enable this, and we'll do it always. Apply. Now this right here will prevent any types of LDAP relay attacks. Like I said, it's really important because, as you know, LDAP holds all of the user information, all the computer information, server information. So essentially, if an attacker gets there, we're cooked, we're done. There's not much we can do. So having this does put protections on us and keeps us safe in our environment. Now the final mechanism, and this is a full-on extreme, I am noting that completely in case of anything, is to completely block NTLM. Just block it at all. Just block it. So let me see. Okay, so we had to find this network security, restrict NTLM authentication in this domain. So if we define this and we actually just deny this for domain accounts, NTLM will no longer be used on any domain accounts. Now, what's the way to stop NTLM relay attacks? Just make NTLM relay impossible. Now this will make it so that our environment completely relies on Kerberos and Kerberos alone. If Kerberos fails, I'm not sure what it's gonna default to, but it for sure will not be NTLM. So we'll be safe on that front. Let me see. I know there's a way to do it for servers as well. And I believe that is incoming NTLM traffic. So if we actually enable this and then do deny for all accounts, this will also now be pushed onto regular servers as opposed to what we did before, which would just deny for things that are trying to connect to the domain controller. So this one is for domain controllers, this one is for regular servers. Now once that is done, you've essentially hardened yourself against NTLM. Now, like I said, the last step, which is to completely deny NTLM, it is a little risky in case something fails and isn't able to use NTLM. It just, whatever it's trying to use it is just not going to work. So I would say to use this wisely and determine whether your server or even your domain controller doesn't need to use NTLM at all. And if you have deemed that it does not, then you can take this step, as it is the best way to prevent an NTLM relay attack. All right, and with that, that is all from me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed playing defense against some of the attacks that we actually went through and did, because like I said, at the end of the day, it's our goal to make people more secure. Even through penetration testing, our goal is to open your eyes to your weaknesses and then make recommendations on what you can do to improve on this, on your environment or whatever it is that you're trying to improve on. So with that being the case, that's essentially all for me. So if you guys could do me a favor, if you like the video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you mess with what I'm doing over here, go ahead and subscribe. If you didn't like the video, tell me why in the comment section below, so that I can know and understand, so that I can try to improve these videos for you guys as I continue to go forward. But with that, that is all from me. So, Novice out. Peace.